So at first I'm just like, okay, I'm meeting this couple. It's you and Seth.
Yes.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. But it starts with a quote. What is it? It's an Oscar Wilde quote about being married.
Yes. One should always be in love. That is the reason one should never marry, which is very cynical.
Uh-huh.
And I put that quote in there because it, I think, represents the perspective we were talking about earlier, of like a director having a perspective that you feel that I like quotes that contextualize the kind of director's perspective before you're, it's like the same thing when you read a book that starts with a quote. I'm like, all right, I see your kind of,
your
I
vibe.
see your vibe. And the movie is both romantic and cynical, I would argue.
It's both romantic and cynical. And then also, because it's Oscar Wilde, it's like an astute observation that's also clever and funny. So you go like, oh, I can kind of say this rough thing, but I'm also putting it in a package that it's still fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so we meet you guys and you're just like, oh yeah. And although I'm not in one of those relationships, I'm so aware of how easily all relationships fall into this.
Yes. And that relationship being one that has, I would argue, slid into a kind of rhythm of resentment and a complete inability to hear or see one another.
Yes.
And you are just sort of coasting along on like inertia and obligation.
And your partner now somehow is the cause of every malady you have.
Oh, yes.
Like you're not responsible anymore for any of your suffering.
Completely.
It's just fully on your partner.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's where we start. And Seth's so fucking funny and you're immediately great. You guys are so good together.
We really,
Did you know him?
I knew him only a little bit when he asked me to come and do the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I came and did an episode and we had so much fun together. He reminded me that I had actually screen tested for Knocked Up.
Oh,
wow.
170,000 years earlier.
Great movie.
And I was like, oh my God, like that was our first time acting together. And I'd been a fan of his forever, but we'd never really gotten to play. And so the studio was immediately so fun. And we recognized something in each other right away. We were like, wait a minute, this is really, we have a real fun time, like finding a rhythm with each other.
After a similar thing, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We do have, there's a similar kind of goal to the way we approach it. And he is truly, he's a genius for so many reasons. He's so sensitive to the audience's experience. He can feel what the audience is feeling at any moment. So putting this movie together with him, he was so helpful in reminding us at all times as we kind of workshop the script together of how the audience would be feeling. And within a scene that you're improvising with him, he can feel where it needs to go. And it was so fun. But like the thing that I'm so proud of is that Seth, everyone knows Seth's a genius. Everyone knows he's one of the funniest people, smartest people, stylish, so stylish. This movie, I feel very proud of him in the way that he, I think, has shown an additional dimension, which I call sad dad.
Yeah.
And he's so good at playing someone who's kind of hit midlife and it didn't work out for him. He plays a guy who was in a band.
He had a little pop at the beginning of his life.
Yeah.
And now he's living off of his parents'
like
legacy.
A real fucking loser.
Yeah.
And he feels an incredible imposter syndrome within his relationship, within his life. He lives in the apartment that he grew up in, his parents' house. He's bottomed out and he's reached this kind of like numb space that he has decided to settle into and he may settle into and live in forever. His wife, who I play, has hit a similar place of dissatisfaction with life, but is way more anxious about it.
Well, I was going to say, it is the yin and yang you often see play out, which is like the dude just bows out.
Yes, surrender.
Right? And then the woman gets so much anxiety and is trying to control every fucking thing.
Yes.
Both of it. No one's prospering in this dynamic.
Right.
Yeah. And then we meet the neighbors, which are played by Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz.
Yes.
I mean, Penelope Cruz.
I know, Penelope Cruz. She's so powerful and she's so beautiful. And so
why does she look like that?
And why does she look like, I know.
It's unfair.
Do you know she has a twin sister?
No.
Oh, identical or fraternal?
I think fraternal. I don't want to get that wrong. We'll check. But she just has this incredible warmth to her and this power. But I've never felt anything like it. I mean, I knew that I was in love with her, but it really was taken to new heights. All of us, and I, the chemistry that she's able to create with like a house plant, like she can do anything. But she and Seth genuinely had amazing chemistry.
Oh,
like it was so fun. Everybody on set, because one cool thing about this movie is we shot it in order.
Oh, nice.
So the crew was more invested than they typically are because they were watching it play out.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh no. Like they would watch the rehearsals and like clap at the end of rehearsals like kids watching like a theater production done in several different bits. Like they were so invested.
That's so fun.
Everyone was feeling like, wait a minute, Seth and Penelope are in love.
Yeah.
And it was,
and maybe they were.
They were in love, and you heard it here first, but they were, it was so extraordinary to see the pairing of like two very different actors just like boom, clicking. And man, I mean, she just is unlike anyone else.
Yeah,
and I think
she's singular.
I mean, the fact that she wanted to do the movie, I felt like I was being punked.
Yeah. Tell me, how'd you get her and how intimidated were you to like guide her?
First of all, on our Zoom that we had, that I couldn't believe she read the script written by Rashida Jones and Will McCormick, and she loved
based
the
on
script.
A Spanish movie?
Yes. It was based on a Spanish movie called The People Upstairs, which in Spanish was called Sentimental, and that was based on a play. Okay. And this play turned into a movie in Spain. It was also made into a movie in South Korea, in Germany, in Italy, in France.
It's so universal.
It's a very universal premise.
We got sexy neighbors upstairs. They're coming over for dinner.
Yep. What will happen? How will you handle that if your marriage is falling apart?
Yes. And they're super sexual.
I love the idea that every culture has this basic question, and every movie is very different. And so Rashida and Will wrote the English version. And then we approached it in this really fun way, which I'd never done before. It was always my dream to shoot it in order, shoot it on film, workshop the script together as a unit, the writers and the cast, for 2 weeks before we shot the film. And then to continue workshopping it as we were filming. That sort of like high intensity adrenaline that I love, that the risk involved was that we would, I suppose, go off the rails and lose the tether of the story. And yet with these people, I knew we were safe because we had some of the best storytellers in the business putting their heads together. And I loved that we were taking big leaps and we were making it more and more specific. So like we would approach every scene and think, how can we make that more personal and more specific and more unexpected?
I mean, the example I think about a lot is that Big Little Lies show. When we got into that like twisted relationship with Alexander Skarsgård and
Nicole
Kidman. I've never been in that dynamic.
Yeah.
But what I could sense was, this is the real dynamic.
Right.
Like there was a level of specificity, and the way the pattern and the cycle went was like, I get the trap of it.
Yeah.
And I can see how people are trapped in this.
Yes.
And it's just through how specific it really was.
Yes, I think that's when the actors are allowed to infuse real experience into the performance, into the characters. And that takes writers who are really open to a process that is, it's not traditional, because we were taking the script far from its original structure and making it more and more specific to these actors and their choices. We were thinking about it as we went. We were very careful to make sure that everything's set up in an authentic way, what was coming next, and that everything that happened would only happen based on what had happened before it. Right. So like we would finish a scene and then say, okay, well then tomorrow's scene, we have to rewrite it because it would never happen that way anymore.
Right.
Because we've already crossed that boundary, or we've already
played that beat out.
We played that beat, so now we have to do something different. So it was like constantly engaging in the process of workshopping the script as we went along. We didn't know how it ended a week before we shot it.
Whoa.
We were like, we had an idea the intention of how we wanted to end, but the way we wanted to do it, Seth and I felt really strongly that we would actually not say very much in the end. And anyone who's ever been through an experience like that sort of creates an eruption, a conflict in a relationship knows that sometimes the speechlessness is the most devastating feeling, which we were so passionate about the idea, like people who are very like quick to be snarky, things have shifted when they actually can't say anything.
If you get me speechless, like some shit's hitting the fan.
Some shit has hit the fan.
Yeah, because fighting, you're still engaged.
Yes.
Fighting you're fighting. You're at least fighting for it in some way. But when you're done talking, you've resigned.
Yeah.
You're done now.
Yeah, exactly. This like pause on the battlefield, and it's like, oh no, this is different. So we were able to do that because we had this group of unbelievable. I mean, I've never felt anything like this dynamic, and I can't believe that I got to act with them, which was not the original plan. I was not supposed to be in the movie. I was putting all these ideas in front of the cast of like actresses who could play this part. I was like, and all incredible people. And they kept like not getting back or like not answering, not coming up with a decision together. And I was like, well, guys, we got to figure it out. And then they got together and then they came to me and they're like, we want you to do it.
The three other actors.
And I was like, yeah, right. Like weirdly, I had the confidence to direct Edward Norton, but the idea of like acting with Edward and Penelope, and that, I was like, are you kidding me? I can't, not me. And and Edward was the one who was like, you obviously are telling the story for a reason.
Yeah.
And maybe you need to play this character.
Yeah.
But who do you think you were in that quartet?
Like who am I in real life?
Who are you really?
I am a combination of all four of them, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
I have the kind of like resistance to social situations, like Seth's character, like the idea of like a surprise dinner party in my house is my personal hell.
Okay.
Like I don't, that's so horrible to me. Yeah. But I have some of the like people-pleasing anxiety of Angela, for sure. I have the, in my dreams, I want to be like Penelope's character. So I think I have the aspiration to have the kind of wisdom of Penelope's character. And then Edward's character has this incredible ability to have reinvented himself and this kind of almost infant-like openness, this sweet kind of openness to change, which is something that as I've gotten older, I've learned.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm a combo of all four, I think.
There's a very fine line between mutiny and collaboration.
Yeah.
Seems like, because Edward was telling me how much of it you guys all did together, basically. Yeah. And so I'm imagining myself directing that. In that. And it's like, boy, I want just the right amount of them helping. And then it has to be a singular vision. I do believe a director has to bring to bear.
And I think actors want that.
Yeah.
They want to feel there's someone driving the ship.
So how are you navigating the line? It's like, okay, that's enough ideas for the day. I know what I want. You guys might not think this is the thing, but I know that this is what I want.
They were all incredibly respectful of that exact thing, of the need for it to all...
You to be deferred to ultimately.
Exactly. So they would give me many ideas and then allow me to kind of say, that one feels right. That not so good, not right. But
Is that hard for you to say that one's not the best?
I think that it's interesting. I think initially I just wanted everyone to feel really comfortable giving me every idea. It was like, give me everything, opening it up. But then I knew by the time we shot, I was like, at this point, I'm going to start kind of pruning the multiple ideas and say like, we're going there.
Yeah.
But they also really respected that and would say like, what do you think? What do you want? I mean, it was so surreal for me the first day. Edward was like, what do you think? How do you think I should approach this moment? I was like, oh my God. Like all I could see was like, primal fear and be like, you're so good. They're all such professionals that they just understood that I had a very, very clear vision that was not specific to how things would play out in scenes at all. I knew that was going to be a full discovery, but I did have like the intentions always in my head. And so they would check in to be like, is that fitting the intention that you have for it? Does that feel right? And that was so professional of them to always kind of know that. They're all filmmakers too. I mean, they're all directors.
Yeah.
So that helps. But yeah, no, it was so far from a mutiny. It was a complete collaboration in a way that I've never felt anything like it. It was like we were all like in rhythm with each other.